and welcome back to the Builder's Blueprint. This is going to be the last episode for the year. And yeah, I can't believe that it is already the end of the year. I feel like I say this every single year, but I feel like from August to December, I blink and then it's just over. And I can't believe we are already at the end of the year again and we're about to start a new year. But I also love it because New Year's is probably my favorite holiday of like the entire year. Like, I'm not a massive Christmas fan. I mean, I like any other holidays, but like New Year, I love New Year's. I don't know why. Well, I do know why, but it's not like, I guess, any more special than any of the others. But I just love that. For me, I've always like been quite, I've like made quite a big deal of the new year where I do a vision board, I reflect on like the year that has just passed, and like it does feel like a bit of a clean slate. And I do love that feeling of a clean slate and just an opportunity to not necessarily start afresh or start again, but I don't know, just that fresh wind and like fresh motivation and fresh kind of fire that kind of comes with a fresh start. I love that feeling. And like, I'm so excited. On the weekend, my friend and I are going to do our vision boards, which is slightly later than I usually do, but I actually feel like it's going to be perfect timing because, and also I'm going to do a little bit of a life update for the next like 3 minutes. I actually don't know how long it's going to take. So if you're not into that, just skip ahead and you can get straight into the juiciness of the episode. But I did want to do a little bit of an update of like where I've been / what the heck is going on, because I've already fallen off the consistency of uploading weekly, which I'm kind of disappointed about, because that was like something that I said to myself. I was like, if I buy the microphone and I start this podcast, I need to be consistent. And I'm already not being consistent, which I'm a bit frustrated about. But I have been deep, and I mean deeps into the depths like of PhD writing. I have a goal next year. I'm going to submit my PhD. I'm not going to say exactly when, because I feel like once I put it on the internet, it'll be like way too much pressure on myself. But I have a goal to submit my PhD next year. And so I have been deep into PhD writing, PhD stuff. And so I have literally been pulling like 9-12 hour study writing days. So hence why I have not uploaded an episode for as consistently. I think I've had 2 or 3 breaks. But I do have some exciting things coming in the new year. I also have like blocked out half a day every week that I'm going to dedicate to just focusing on the podcast, just focusing on content, and really, building a fun little community. Also, I can see that I still haven't fully worked out the camera situation. It's like, let me know what you feel about like the closer up. I feel like it's moving right now, because when I move the mic ever so slightly, the cord moves and then the camera moves, my phone moves. All right, that's still a work in progress. Anyway, so that's probably the biggest update, is that I have been working so much on my PhD because the plan is to submit next year. Also, like, I've just had my family's been up from Sydney, which has been really nice, to spend time with my cousin and my auntie and her partner. So that's like obviously been happening. And then just, I've had a back injury, and I've been really I really want to get that right so that I can start getting back into running and to tennis and to like all the golf and like all the sports that I love, in the new year. So I've been working really hard. Like, I've been swimming, I've been doing rehab, I've been doing physio, but like, again, all of that takes time. So it's like in my day at the moment, which is like, it's I'm not expecting anyone to care, but I feel like it's hectic. It's like I get up, I go to the gym, I come home, I do a work block, I go for a walk, have lunch, come back, do another work block, go for a swim, or like go and see my family, come home, do another workbook, go to bed. And I know some people are going to be like, it's Christmas, it's crazy. Like, Christmas is my favorite holiday. And this year my grandma passed away, so it was even a little bit harder. So not that I was trying to be avoidant, but when I realized like Christmas wasn't going to be the same this year, I was like, you know what, and I want to submit my PhD next year. I was like, you know what, this is actually a perfect time where everything's quiet and there's no expectations of like, I need to be, like, I was working less, I didn't have any meetings. And so I was like, this is a great opportunity to do like lots and lots of focus writing. So hence that's what I have been doing, and not so much podcast episode-y stuff. Anyway, so that's kind of update, highlight of my week so far. I mean, it is only Tuesday, but I would say that the highlight, even though it's been quite hectic, is just like, I actually really love learning and love writing and studying. So like, it's actually just been the freedom to have a whole day to do that. Like, I love that feeling of like not being rushed to like, I need to get A, B, and C done in the next 3 hours because I'm not going to have another opportunity to do it, kind of thing. And then being able to go for a walk and getting coffee and just really making that study time really enjoyable and really precious. So that's probably been the highlight of like the last week and a half. I've really, really enjoyed doing that. And I will miss these days where I can just, in a way, take my time with study and writing. But that's all right. There is a season for everything, and I really like this season right now. So that's kind of what has been going on for me. So let's get into the episode, yeah? So the episode for today, I don't know exactly what I'm going to call this episode, but essentially I wanted to talk about how to bring on, prepare, get ready for the new year without manifesting, without vision boarding, dream boarding, even journaling. I was like, not because I don't believe in these things, and like, I love these things. Like, don't get me wrong, I love vision boarding. I love journaling. I believe in manifesting. I believe that like your thoughts have power and you can think things into existence and all those things. Like, it's not to discredit any of that stuff, but I also understand that we're kind of in this, some of us are in the season of like, we've done that and that hasn't really gotten us anywhere. And I don't know, I just get this sense that like everyone's exhausted. Like, even though we're on holidays, I just feel like everyone's like, I just need a break, kind of thing. And so I was like, I don't just want to do another episode where it's like, get ready for the new year, reflect, set your intentions, yada, yada, yada. Because I was like, also like 1,000,001 other influencers, podcasters, content creators are doing that. So I was like, I don't feel like I could add any more than what other people have already like added. And I feel like there's so many good content creators out there that create really good content about setting goals, manifesting, journaling, getting ready for the new year, all that kind of stuff. So I was like, how can I think about it differently? And I guess, what would I want someone to say to me as like alternatives to if I was like, you know what, I actually don't have the energy to like get ready for the new year, if you know what I mean. That was, if you're listening to this on audio, is in air bubbles. What's the word? Anyway, whatever. I think you know what I mean. So these are some things. I've got 5 different things that I was like, these are some, and I guess I'm also annoyingly an optimist where I'm like, don't do nothing. There's always something you can do. There's always an option. There's always a possibility. Like, you don't do nothing. But if you're like, you know what, I actually don't feel like doing the whole shebang for the new year. I just want to like go in a little bit less tired and a little bit clearer in my mind. These are 5 things that I would find helpful. So hopefully you find them helpful too. So number 1 is reduce your input stimulus. So take a break from the social media, news, constant notifications, consumption of input. Just take a little break. It doesn't have to be really long. Like, I mean, you can make it as long or as little as you like. If you want to take a couple of days, take a couple of days. And if you have that ability to take a few days, take a few days. If it is a day, half a day, a couple of hours, even just an hour, where you're like, you know what, I'm just going to reduce how much input is coming into my brain. I think that is a really important thing because in this day and age, we're so constantly bombarded with input that our brain is working 110% all the time. So giving it an opportunity to just come down a little bit, and by doing and reducing stimulus is one way we can do that. You just give it an opportunity to just chill. And then usually when it's a little bit more chill, people find that they are more creative. They can think clearer. They can think better. They can think into the future more, rather than just like this survival mode. So yeah, take a little input break. Social media is the biggest one. But at the moment, there's so much news that I even think that you could take a break from the news, or like a couple of hours a day away from the news is not going to hurt you. Even like people, and I know that this is a time where people are spending a lot more time with friends and family, and it's not to say like don't do that at all, but even if there's a time where you can just be on your own and just sit with yourself, which I know is really, really uncomfortable, but I think it is really important to do, because those are the moments where we get to really like know ourselves and really go, I don't know, I just kind of have this picture in my head of just like you just melt back onto the couch, and then for the next hour I just chill, and I just feel like that is a really important thing to do. I also think this is very, very anecdotal, and just like my experience is it takes my brain about 3 days to reset its dopamine. And what I mean by that, like, let's take doom scrolling, for example. If I have just been on a constant doom scrolling streak, I feel like it takes about 3 days for my brain to go, oh, actually, this is better not doom scrolling than it is doom scrolling. I feel like the first day is really, all I want to do is doom scroll. And I'm like, why did I say that I wouldn't doom scroll? And then the second day, it's a bit like in between. And then by the third day, I'm like, my brain actually feels better for not doom scrolling. So I feel like that's the same with input stimulus, where the longer you can give your brain to just have a break and chill from all of the bombarding input stimulus, the kind of more benefit you will feel from that. But obviously, if you only have a couple of hours, you only have a couple of hours, and something is better than nothing. So that is number one. Number two is change your perspective on the new year. So instead of seeing the new year as starting again, see it as continuing on. So I think that is another thing that I struggle with with the new year, is that it's always about starting from zero, starting again. And I just think that mindset is a bit unhealthy, because I think it's unhealthy because we're never starting from zero. And so we kind of convince ourselves that, I'm starting again, like all that hard work, and now I start again. And I know it's not always like that. It's always like, okay, what can I do better, and where can I start from now, and then move on. But I also feel like, particularly in your 20s, there's so much going on, and there is like constant starting again, and not constant starting again, but there's lots of times you will have to start again in your 20s, or you'll have to start something new. And so seeing the new year as a progression of life rather than like starting again is like one less starting again you will do across the whole year. And also there is things that you've done this year that like you can continue to get better at in 2026. And it's not about finding new hobbies and starting all these new journeys. That's actually probably for me, my biggest thing in 2026 is going to be, my word for 2026 is going to be mastery. I want to get really good at the things that I am good at now already, rather than this year I felt like I just spread myself really thin and I did lots of different things, which is not a bad thing. I think there's, as I said, season for everything, where you got to try things, you got to do lots of new things, you got to challenge yourself. But in this year, I've realized, oh, these are the things that I'm good at. And now in 2026, I want to get really good at those things. I want to become essentially a master of my craft. And the things that I do, I want to get really, really good. So less is more, in the sense that I don't want to do as many things next year. But the things I know I've already been good at for like the last few years, I want to get better at those things. So I think changing your perspective also helps you to just, change that it's a progress, not perfection. Get into it's progress, not perfection mindset, which we're all kind of guilty of falling into that perfectionistic mindset. So I think the mindset shift can help with that. I'm just reading through my notes. They're actually kind of far away. I got new glasses, which I'm super keen for, because I feel like now that's slightly too far away. Okay, number 3 is declutter your physical spaces. So clear or organized physical space equals decluttered mind. So you don't have to do this. You can do this in whatever magnitude you like. If you want to do a full house, bedroom, the whole kit and caboodle declutter, go for it. You do your thing. But even if you just do, I'm just going to declutter one square of my wardrobe, or like my wardrobe in squares, but whatever it is for you, your brain will thank you for that. Even if it is one drawer in the kitchen, declutter something. Maybe it's your email. That actually seems so overwhelming to me. My emails is like at an all-time high that I'm like, I just feel like I need to, sorry, this is like a real side quest, but like I just feel like I need to create a new email account altogether, because there is just so many emails that the thought of going through and decluttering that actually makes me not anxious. I don't even know. Just thinking about it, I'm like, I never want to have to do that task. Maybe that is what I need to declutter, because it's a hard thing and I can do hard things. But just pick something to declutter in your environment, whether that is in your phone or your laptop or your physical space, to help you create some mental clarity. And also try and throw out one thing. Okay. I was gonna challenge everyone to 3, but I think we'll just go with 1, because 3 is actually a lot. But even if they're tiny little things, like this morning I found this random ass hair clip that I never use, and I was like, I'm never going to use that again. And it's not broken, but I feel like if I pressed it too hard, it would break. So I'm going to chuck that out. That's going to be my thing to just goodbye in 2025. So pick something to throw out as well. It also, like, throwing things out, decluttering, creates that sense of renewal, which is kind of nice at the start of a new year. So number 4 is have something to look forward to in January. So I feel like, my experience is like Christmas, like the end of the year, Christmas and New Year, there's so many parties and things going on and celebrations and get-togethers and all this stuff going on, and it's amazing and it's great. And then January comes and everyone's like back to work and back into the swing of things, and it's like, oh, here we go again. And it can feel a little bit monotonous, maybe. I mean, then there is the added, it's a new year, I need to make the most of it. And then before you know it, it's already like the middle of February, and then you're like, what? How's the year already gone away from me? So planning something fun in January, 1, it gives you something to look forward to, but 2, you've already done something fun and memorable in the year, and it's January, right? It's not like you're having to wait until March, April, May, the middle of the year, before you have your next fun, exciting thing. So just something little. I mean, it could just be a catch up with a friend, or it could be, what were some of the other examples I had? It could be, like a social outing, some sort of like project or hobby. Mine is going to the tennis. I love the tennis. I could talk about the tennis for days. Like love tennis. So mine is going to the tennis. Always look forward to going to the tennis in January. Yeah, so it doesn't have to be a really massive, big holiday thing. Just something really little to look forward to in January, to go, oh, like that's almost like a next little pit stop to look forward to, which I think is kind of fun. Okay, last thing is I'm going to create this, a folder, and it can be on your phone, on your camera roll, it can be on your computer, however you want to formalize this folder process. You're gonna create one, and it's gonna be called the good stuff folder. Okay, and then you're gonna use this folder to capture all of the positive moments, the achievements, the things that you're good at, the things that you did really well at, or you achieved. I think I've already said achieved. What's another word? I don't know. I just finished work. And I was like, I need to record the episode before the end of the year. Anyway, yeah, you're going to create this folder of things that you're going to put into throughout the year. And so that you get to the end of the year and you can just scroll back or look back through this folder and look at all of these cool, fun, exciting, amazing things that you have done during the year. And it's like a little time capsule thing where you can just keep it, and then you can look back on it in like 3 years, 5 years, 10 years, 18 years time and be like, wow, 2026, look at all these things that I did. So I want you to set a reminder. Oh my gosh, you guys, I finished recording the episode and then I realized at 7 o'clock my time app takes over, and so it just cut out and then it didn't record the last little bit of the episode, so apologies. Yes, so you are going to create a reminder on your calendar to, at the end of every month, reoccurring. So this can be on the last day, or it can be on like the last Monday or the last Friday, whatever works for you. And you're going to do a mini audit of that month and make sure that you get all of the things from that month into that folder, because otherwise it'll get to the middle of the year and you won't be doing it anymore because you'll forget to do it. Ideally, if you can do it every day, or not every day, but like when it happens, it's great. Saves yourself from doing it later, you know, save yourself time, all of that kind of stuff. But I know I won't do that. So I'm going to set a reminder monthly to just go through my camera roll, to go through my emails, to go through, just like reflect on that last month and go, oh, like what are the things that I did? So yeah, that's what I am going to do. I also realized that I think I flipped my phone around the other way. So this will probably be a different video, but you know what? It's just the journey of starting a podcast and figuring all these things out. Speaking of, thank you so much for, I know it has been short and sweet, but coming on this journey of starting a podcast in 2025, I am really looking forward to 2026. I have a good feeling about it. I think it's going to be fabulous. So I look forward to seeing you all there, and for all of you to come along on the journey with me. But yes, thank you so much for supporting me in starting this podcast. I really, really appreciate it. All the messages that I've received, the people who have liked the podcast, who have started following, who have liked the Instagram page. Like, I really, really appreciate it. You don't know how much that means to me. I said, if like this impacts one person, that's an absolute win for me. So, and I feel like I've already achieved that. So thank you so much for your support. I hope that you have a lovely new year. I know that it is not everyone's favorite time and it can feel really overwhelming. So I hope that you do find moments and pockets of joy and things to enjoy, and people to spend time with that you love, and that you feel loved by. And yes, I guess I will see you all in 2026 for the next episode. Remember, it is never too late to change. It is never too late to start. It is never too late to build a life that you love and that you are proud of. So with that, love you lots and Happy New Year.